Purrfectly Poetic Justice by Beatrice Pennyworth. Chapter 1. A perfectly ordinary morning. The scent of roasted coffee beans, warm milk, and something vaguely cinnamon sweet hung like a comforting blanket in the air of the purring cup. Outside, the early Oakhaven morning still shimmered with dew, but inside, the cafe was already a haven of soft purrs and gentle clinking. Tessa, her auburn hair escaping its messy bun in wisps around her perpetually optimistic face, hummed a tuneless melody as she meticulously arranged a trio of artisanal biscotti on a ceramic plate. Her green eyes, crinkling at the corners even when she wasn't smiling, scanned the room, making sure every cat had a sunbeam to nap in, every cushion was fluffed, and every water bowl was sparkling. A sleek, handsome tuxedo cat, Oliver, watched her every move from his perch atop the highest cat tree. His emerald eyes, framed by a distinctive white mask, held an almost unnerving intelligence. He wasn't just a cat. He was Tessa's silent partner, her intuitive companion, a furry shadow that somehow understood the rhythm of her days and the unspoken thoughts in her head. With a graceful stretch that showcased his elegant black and white fur, Oliver jumped down, landing with barely a whisper, and weaved around Tessa's ankles, a soft, rumbling purr vibrating through her worn jeans. "Good morning, my sweet boy," Tessa murmured, bending to scratch behind his ears, her voice a warm, slightly whimsical cadence. "Ready for another day of charming the pants off our lovely customers?" Oliver responded with an insistent headbutt, his purr intensifying, a comforting thrum against her leg. He truly was a special cat, a constant, grounding presence in her life. She often wondered if he understood more than he let on, his quiet observations seeming to miss nothing. Soon, the bell above the door chimed, announcing the arrival of the first regulars. Mrs. Agnes Higgins, Oakhaven's unofficial historian and resident purveyor of polite gossip, bustled in, her silver hair impeccably coiffed, a vibrant fuchsia brooch pinned to her sensible tweed jacket. She surveyed the room with sharp, knowing eyes, a polite smile fixed on her lips. But Tessa knew that smile hid a mind already cataloguing every detail. "Tessa, dearie, a double espresso, please, and a fresh croissant for my little treat," Mrs. Higgins chirped, settling into her usual armchair by the window, where a fluffy ginger cat named Marmalade immediately claimed her lap. "Looks like a lovely morning, not a cloud in the sky. Makes one think of all the bright, promising mornings Oakhaven has seen, doesn't it?" Tessa, expertly steaming milk for Mrs. Higgins's coffee, nodded. "It certainly does, Mrs. Higgins. A perfect day for a stroll down Willow Creek, perhaps." "Oh, I suppose," Mrs. Higgins replied, stroking Marmalade with a delicate hand. "Though some mornings, even the brightest ones, can hide a shadow, can't they? Like when Elara Vance disappeared all those years ago. Such a lovely, peculiar woman, always sketching, always observing. Nobody quite knew what she was up to, did they? Just vanished, poof, like a puff of smoke. Still gives me a shiver, bless her heart." The casual mention of Elara Vance, the cafe's enigmatic previous owner, hung in the air, a faint but persistent echo in Oakhaven's otherwise tranquil narrative. Tessa remembered the hushed whispers when she first moved to town 5 years ago, seeking a quieter life after the relentless pace of the city. The story of Elara's disappearance a decade prior was a local legend, a ghost story told in hushed tones, never fully resolved, always leaving a lingering question mark in the town's collective memory. It was one of those Oakhaven secrets, woven into the very fabric of the community, acknowledged but rarely discussed openly, like a faded stain on a beloved tablecloth. "Indeed," Tessa said, placing the espresso and croissant before Mrs. Higgins. "Such a sad mystery. I often wonder what became of her." She genuinely did. Sometimes, when she was alone in the cafe after closing, a strange, almost palpable presence seemed to linger, a faint scent of lavender and old paper that wasn't quite her own. Mrs. Higgins took a dainty sip of her coffee. Well, dearie, some folks say she just packed up and left. Others, well, others have their theories. Oakhaven can be a funny place, you know. Everyone knows everyone, but nobody truly knows everything. Secrets, like old grudges, have a way of burrowing deep here. But enough of that old melancholy. Tell me, how is little Pip? Did he find his forever home yet? Tessa smiled, grateful for the shift in topic. Not yet, but he had a lovely meet and greet yesterday. I have a good feeling about this one. Her gaze drifted to a playful kitten batting at a dangling toy, a surge of protective affection washing over her. Her cafe, her cats, her small, cosy corner of Oakhaven. This was her world, her found family. She had poured her life savings and every ounce of her passion into creating this sanctuary, a place where both humans and felines could find comfort. Throughout the morning, the cafe filled with the gentle hum of conversation, the rhythmic whir of the espresso machine, and the contented purrs of the resident cats. Tessa moved with practiced ease, refilling mugs, wiping down tables, and offering soft words of encouragement to a shy new rescue cat. She greeted each regular by name, exchanging snippets of local news, a testament to the strong community ties that bound Oakhaven together. The town, with its independent businesses and picturesque valley setting, felt safe, predictable, a balm to her once restless soul. But the lingering mention of Elara Vance had, perhaps, stirred something. As Tessa wiped down the counter, her mind drifted back to the whispers, the vague unease that always accompanied Elara's name. A creative, independent woman, Mrs. Higgins had said. What kind of secrets could such a person have stumbled upon in a town like Oakhaven? Later, as the lunch rush began to wane, Tessa found herself tidying the small storage area behind the counter, a space usually reserved for extra bags of coffee beans and cleaning supplies. Her hand brushed against a dusty shelf, and her gaze fell upon a row of forgotten items. Old, mismatched teacups, a chipped ceramic vase, and a small, cat-shaped sugar jar, intricately painted, but covered in a fine layer of dust. It looked like something Elara Vance might have owned, a whimsical touch from a bygone era. Suddenly, Oliver, who had been lazily napping on a stack of clean towels, stretched languidly. His green eyes, usually so serene, fixed on the dusty shelf, specifically on the cat-shaped sugar jar. He let out a soft, inquiring meow, a sound that wasn't demanding, but rather strangely insistent. He then looked at Tessa, then back at the jar, his tail giving a slow, deliberate swish. Tessa paused, a faint prickle of curiosity making her frown slightly. Oliver rarely paid such close attention to inanimate objects unless there was a reason. His intuition was often uncanny. She followed his gaze, her eyes narrowing thoughtfully on the old sugar jar. The morning's content feeling had subtly shifted, replaced by a nascent curiosity, a quiet whisper that something was amiss. Oliver gave another soft meow, a gentle nudge towards the unexpected.